Well, hello there peeps, and welcome back to the channel. It's great to see you there, and welcome to a not particularly sunny South Devon. We're here at Teignmouth railway station and we're off on a little bit of a trip today. Now, as it's a bit grey, as it's a little bit damp, I thought, well, perhaps not do the moors today. I've got one or two plans for some nice places there, but we'll wait for a bit of a brighter day. It's time for one of our wonders around some of the beautiful South Devon towns that we have here in this area, and today we're going to the funkiest one of them all, the town that has a fantastic alternative vibe, the town that sometimes is described as the Glastonbury of Devon. Where could it possibly be? It just has to be funky Totnes. Oh yes, and we're going on the train. And why are we going on the train? Well, yes, we can drive it, but to be honest, the traffic in Teignmouth at the moment is a bit of a nightmare because of roadworks. So we thought, let's let the train take the strain. Oh yeah. Here comes our ride. Shelburne Bridge. And even on a grey day, the Tean estuary still looks lovely, doesn't it? Tide well up at the moment. And we have a quick change at Newton Abbot here, and then we'll be on our way to Totnes in just a few minutes. Now, back in the 1970s, when I was just a young enthusiastic train spotter, all this area where these modern buildings are on the right hand side was the Newton Abbot railway depot, and it was always with much excitement that we came through here on our way down to Plymouth or Penzance, waiting to see all the locos lined up. Nowadays all that's gone, and you have the Royal Mail depot, international dance supplies and various other businesses instead. Not quite the same, is it really? Oh look, we've got an HST. Taunton Castle, lovely. It was great to have a ride on an HST. It might be the last ever time, because I think they've only got a few more weeks left on this line, and then they're being replaced by boring diesel multiple units. Bye HST. You know, they've been around for over 40 years, quite incredible. And here we are in funky Totnes, as we call it around these parts. Well, me and my mate Leo do anyway. And we're going to have a walk into town and walk down the famous Totnes High Street, which is absolutely lovely. You ready for it?
I'm ready for it.
There might even be a cream tea involved at some point as well.
Might be a hot chocolate.
Yeah, on a day like this, a hot chocolate would be lovely, actually. Right, let's go, come on. Right, so normally we come in the car, so this is a different way for us. So here we are, Totnes railway station. We're going to walk this way, past Totnes Castle, so we'll show you that, and onto the main street, which runs all the way down here under the beautiful arch, and then we'll head off down towards Steamer Quay as well. Right, adventures await right here in funky Totnes. Right, we're on our way from the station into the town centre. Here's an old cider warehouse look in front of us.
Well, I reckon that would be quite popular, because there'd be a lot of apples in Somerset and Devon that were made into cider. It was very famous for cider.
It certainly was back in the day, that's for sure. Never walked this way before, actually. So we're heading up past the entrance to the castle first, and that's a sign we're heading in the right direction. That's lucky for us. And up this hill. And as we climb up the hill, which is Castle Street, look at this lovely arch as we get ever closer to Totnes Main Street. So pretty, isn't it, already? Lovely little street. Right, here's the entrance to the castle. I don't think we're going to be going in today because it's quite mizzly and I think it might be a bit slippery. But we're at least going to have a look at the entrance. Pretty little garden as you come in. So here we are, just at the start. English Heritage, Totnes Castle. You can see the opening times there. Not quite sure how much it costs to go in, but we'll have a look. And here it is, Totnes Castle. It's a good climb up there. But I bet the views are magnificent across the town and the countryside beyond. And here's the entrance here. Look at the old gateposts here. So if you're an English Heritage member, I think you get in free. Yeah, obviously, as per that sign. Otherwise, you just have to pay in the ticket office here. Yeah, there it is. Little information board about it here. So you can see the layout of Totnes on this sign here, on this information board. So we're just at the entrance to the castle here, and then the town just goes away down the hill behind it, down to the beautiful River Dart. That's the way we're going to be heading in just a few minutes. But yeah, we'll definitely come back here on a nicer day, I think. Yeah, it's a magnificent structure actually. Not very big, but it's certainly in a spectacular position.
It would have fabulous views as well, and it was built 900 years ago. It's a really good example of a Norman castle.
Fantastic. So there you go, Totnes Castle, definitely somewhere to come back to on a nicer day than today. Maybe next year we'll come back and do it in the sunshine.
You could always get lost in there.
Yeah, we could, couldn't we? Yeah, we're very good at that. Always good to see a proper little independent bookshop. There's not so many of them left nowadays, so we love them, don't we? And all the local information on the door as well, look. And a hairdresser's with a view. And here we are, we've reached the main street, and here first of all is the Barrel House. This is a very unusual little music venue. You go through that door, up the stairs, and into an L-shaped music venue. We've seen a really good prog rock band called Magic Bus there, and then last year we saw a wonderful Cornish-based singer called Martha Tilston perform there as well, who was absolutely lovely. It's a very quirky location, but very nice, very Totnes. Right next to the Totnes Brewing Company, a pub. I remember interviewing the Emerald Dawn, a prog rock band from Cornwall, in there once, and it was very noisy, but we just about got away with it. And we're going to start at the top of the high street. This is an area that they call the Narrows, because the road, well, it gets very narrow. You'll notice all through Totnes a load of independent shops, many with a very alternative vibe. If you want to buy your funky Indian pattern trousers here and all that sort of stuff, then you can get it right here in Totnes. And even the charity shops in Totnes have a difference. Here's one which I love going in, the Animals in Distress shop. They sell not only vinyl records but also old hi-fi equipment as well. So if you need to replace part of your old hi-fi separates and stick an amplifier or a record deck in there or something, you can normally get one here at a very reasonable price. What a great name for a shop. Look at these posters down here as well.
Look at that, live slow, stay inspired. Let's do nothing for a while.
Sounds good to me. Yep, sounds good to me. Oh, and we have a bit of a traffic problem here. There's a van trying to get around this corner, and I think it's going to be too narrow for him. Should be quite exciting, this. If you like your music, if you like your vinyl records especially, there's some great places here in Totnes. Here's Drift Records, who sell new ones, I believe, but there are some places further down the street where you can get second-hand ones as well, including one lovely little shop which I'll show you in a wee while. Earth, Food, Love. You've got to love shops like this, haven't you? The UK's first organic zero waste shop. And how often do you see a shop that specialises in harps? And goatskin covered bongo drums as well. Love it. I love the individuality of these shops, just so many different types here. None of your major chain stores. Right, we're going to start to make our way down the main street. Well, we love going to music festivals, our prog rock music festivals, and if you want somewhere to buy some jazzy clothing, maybe, you know, really funky shirts or hats and that sort of stuff, then this is the place right behind you. We've bought some wonderful stuff from there over the years. It's a great little shop. And everywhere there's reminders of great music. Here it is, closed today, but what a great name for a gallery, eh? Oh yes. One thing I really do like about Totnes is it's a place where people aren't afraid to be themselves. So you'll see some people dressed in very wacky outfits with funky hairstyles. I keep using that word, don't I? But I like that. It's a place where you can just be who you are. Nothing wrong with that, is there? And here we are, just making our way a little bit further down the main street. Little poster here for Sound Art Radio. That's a local community radio station here in Totnes that specialises in doing things with a difference, and they do all sorts of workshops and all sorts of things like that there, and good on them. Yeah, great to find a radio station that just doesn't play pop music all day. Market Square here in Totnes. This is where usually on Saturdays they have the food markets, and they sell all sorts of different stuff, Indian, Thai and food from around the world. It's great to come here, and the smells of course are just amazing. The very first time we came to Totnes after we'd moved to Devon a few years ago, I remember there was some buskers underneath the cover there, and they were playing Frank Zappa songs, and I thought, I am going to like this town.
They'll just go, I reckon.
Nice little place here to sit and just watch the world go by. Little artisan bakery as well. That's lovely, isn't it? Look at this in the artisan bakers. Lovely, isn't it? All sorts of different bits and pieces. Black bean hummus, mango chutney, roasted red pepper, pea and leek frittata, Emmental tapenade, goat's cheese and homemade chutney. Oh, it's making me hungry. Many towns in Devon have their own gin, and Totnes is no exception. And look at this for a beautiful old cinema. What a great entrance and sign that is, isn't it? As you walk in, look at the old posters here. I like this a lot. Isn't it great that places like this survive? I'm guessing that's the entrance to the cinema. Or maybe no, actually it's in front of us here, look. Isn't that just beautiful?
Says it's open for coffee as well.
Oh well.
We're going to have a look inside. Got the old seats here as well.
And there it is, there's the screen. Dr. Strangelove. What a wonderful place. And no, it's not just a bar. Yeah, they're still showing films here every day of the week. Ignore the signs where Totnes is twinned with as you enter the town by road, because everybody really knows that Totnes is actually twinned with Narnia. Couldn't be anywhere else, could it? Now, we've been to Totnes quite a few times, but I've never been down here before, so let's go and have a look. Lovely alleyway leading to the Guildhall, and right above it, the magnificent red stone church tower. Look at that. And every corner you turn, just pretty little entrances and little hidden courtyards. Just look at this. Isn't that pretty? Absolutely lovely. Well, it says the Guildhall's down here, so we're just to the back of the church. We'll see the front of that when we return to the main street in just a minute or two.
St Mary's.
St Mary's Church. And they do live music in there sometimes as well. I mentioned Martha Tilston, I think it was, a little bit earlier on, and a very similar singer to her is a very, very talented singer called Jo Beth Young, who's well known to us here in the prog rock circles, and she's sung in that church just a year or two ago. Look at this old door here. So much history here, isn't there? And as we go through here, I can see some stocks and some old shields. So this is all part of Totnes Guildhall. Anybody you think needs a bit of a telling off, you can bring them here. And here we are inside the Guildhall. What a beautiful place. Oh dear, man trap. You wouldn't want to stick your leg in there, would you? I'm not going anywhere near that. Right, what's through here? Have to stoop. Men's prison cell, 1624 to 1887, the Dark House. And there he is, the poor prisoner, serving his time. Doesn't look very nice in there, and he's even got a mouse on his plate, look. Oh dear. So Nina was just saying she'd seen some information to say this used to be the town jail here in Totnes. And no matter what your misdemeanour, it couldn't have been very nice being dragged down here, could it? Early 10th century look. What's this? Another very complicated piece of equipment. Now this lady is poor Lisa, or Liza, awaiting transportation. What did she do? She stole a petticoat. So they'd be sent down under just for that, and here's the journey that they took. Starting in the UK, maybe calling into South America, and then all the way to Australia, where they would be meant to go to a penal colony. It was tough in those days, wasn't it, eh? Yeah, so this was the jail from 1624 to 1887. And the pictures of the former mayors of Totnes here. And I know that Nelson had a lot of connections with Devon, and here's another one. So there you go, the Guildhall here in Totnes. Definitely worth a visit, and it's free to enter, just a donation, so you can stick in a quid or two, whatever you want, whatever you feel it's worth. Definitely worth taking time out away from the main street and come and have a look at this. I told you I like this town, didn't I, eh? And there's the front of the church, currently undergoing some restoration work, so it's surrounded by builders' fences at the moment, but a lovely church, and it'll be wonderful once it's all finished. And as they always say in places like this, just look up. This may just look like coffee number 1 and its next door neighbour, but look at the beautiful old building it's in. And here's one of the most famous sights of Totnes, the wonderful arch that spans the main street, and I believe this is where High Street turns into 4th Street. And yeah, traffic still comes up here, which I'm quite surprised about. It gets quite busy actually. But that's lovely, isn't it? And forever a symbol of Totnes. This is a very famous shop in Totnes. The door on the left used to lead you to the Museum of Time, but sadly time ran out on that. But nowadays the part on the right, Narnia, it's a wonderful record store. And whenever we have our good friend the Crash from California coming over here for the music festivals, we always bring him to this shop, and he always finds some wonderful vinyl. And they specialise in old rock and prog and stuff like that. Absolutely fantastic. It's a lovely shop inside. I can't show you inside because it's shut at the moment, but if you're in Totnes, come into Narnia. It's just wonderful. Here's the Totnes Museum, lovely old building. And if you see the little sign here, you can see that it's 450 years old, and it's the only 16th century merchant's house in Totnes. And there it is, the lovely arch as you climb back up into the centre of Totnes here. Another famous little site in Totnes, the Brutus Stone.
That stone is where Brutus first set foot back on the British mainland after being exiled to Greece following killing his father.
So if that was where he first set foot, how did he do that? Because we're not by the river or the sea.
I don't think the stone was there then.
Very pretty with the lights. And that's really the end of the historic part of the 4th Street, High Street here in Totnes. But we're going to continue on down, and very soon we'll be reaching the River Dart. Here's another lovely pub though. Look at that, it's a proper pub, isn't it? Fantastic.
It is said that there's more listed buildings in Totnes than any other town in England.
Yeah, I can believe it. Look, Toad of Toad Hall on his bike on the top there, with his Totnes A to Z. And this is all part of the Totnes Library complex. But they've even made a nice little place to sit out and have a coffee here. Is Totnes the perfect place to live? Well, it could well be. You may even think that even more when I show you the river in a second. Oh, this is lovely, isn't it? Look at that.
That's nice.
And of course, if you're in Devon, you have to sample some of the local produce. Plenty of choices here. And we have reached the bottom of 4th Street at the very well-known Royal 7 Stars Hotel, which is a very popular place to have a meal out. So we're back amongst modern life here. We're going to cross the bridge and go and have a look at the River Dart. And as we approach the River Dart, you can see some of the old warehouses. Of course, this is really the upper limit of the navigable part of the Dart, where the boats would come up from the sea past Dartmouth and way up here, which is 9 miles up to Totnes. And there was a lot of old warehousing here, most of which has now been turned into rather trendy and expensive apartments, or maybe even in the case of this one on the right, a lovely waterside bar. And here we are at the River Dart. You can see the yachts moored up there. Absolutely lovely, isn't it? Tide's in at the moment, so it's looking better than it would do if it was out, because it more or less empties at this point, I believe. And looking the other way, well, you can only sail for so far up there, but the river itself goes up onto Dartmoor, quite a few more miles, right onto the high moors. Spectacular up there. We'll do that in another video. And even though you're right on the edge of the town centre here, you've got a lovely waterside park to walk through. People bring the dogs down here, or just come for a gentle stroll next to the river. Absolutely lovely. And the good thing about Totnes is on the other side of the river, which we'll show you in a second, you can walk for quite some distance, and it's just been made into a beautiful area to walk and just enjoy the scenery all alongside the amazing River Dart. But just look at this, absolutely beautiful. You can tell it's autumn, can't you? And on the other side of the river here, this is what is known as Steamer Quay. And if you've watched our Dartmouth video, you'll have seen some of the big riverboats down there. Cardiff Castle, Dart Explorer. There's the Kingswear Castle, which is the steam paddle steamer, which is so historic. It's a wonderful trip on that. They come all the way down river, 9 miles from Dartmouth, and this is as far as they come. So they'll come into Steamer Quay here in Totnes, and they'll turn around and then head off back down the river. And if you want a fantastic day out here in South Devon, you can do what's called the round robin. Get on the steam train at Paignton, take the Dartmouth Steam Railway all the way down to Kingswear, take the ferry across to Dartmouth, have a wander around the beautiful town of Dartmouth. You can see that on our other video on this channel, and then take the boat trip right up here to Totnes. That takes about an hour and a half, something like that. It's a lovely trip up the River Dart, and then you get on an open top bus and it takes you back to Paignton railway station. A better day out I could not imagine. Fantastic. And this is where you finish off here at Steamer Quay, right here in funky Totnes. And here is Sammy the squirrel, nut in mouth. There he goes. Hello, mate. Where are you going to bury that then, or are you going to eat it now? Look at him. He's happy to be on camera, aren't you, pal? Hello. Yeah, I know he's a grey squirrel. I know, not popular, are they really? But what a lovely place he's got to live, on his tree next to the inner waterway here. People park the boats here. Tell you what, there's worse places to live than this, isn't there? The dogs think so as well. A lovely autumnal scene next to the River Dart here. It's getting a little bit mislier. Is that a word? Mislier? It's starting to rain, in other words. So I think it's time for lunch. Nina has found a nice place, that waterside place that we just showed you. Although I don't think we'll be sitting outside today. So there you are, the beautiful River Dart. It's a delight from where it starts off up on the moors to where it enters the sea at Dartmouth. A gorgeous river. I do love the River Dart very much. Wow, we are absolutely stuffed. That was a lovely lunch. Very highly recommended. What do you reckon, Nina?
Oh my goodness, I'll never cook again. That was fantastic.
I think we're going to run all the way to Teignmouth now, just to try and lose a few pounds.
Not sure about that. Not sure about that.
Right, let's make our way back up into the town. Well, we're going to have a slow amble up through the town and then gently towards the railway station before we head off back to sunny Teignmouth. This is the mansion, built in 1795. Nowadays used for community education and also a lot of arty stuff as well, as you can see. And yes, they even have penguins here in funky Totnes. Our favourite shop again. And then back up through the archway. A little bit quieter now, lunchtime is over. Nice place to sit though, and as I said, watch the world go by. Plenty of very nice galleries here in Totnes. Right, onwards we go. Past Bowie again. Another gallery. That's the Bowie gallery. Some lovely shops selling Totnes type clothing. If you know, you know. And lots of lovely smells, especially coming out of this one. If this was smelly vision, you'd be able to smell like a sort of an incense. Just look at that. Lovely, isn't it? Yeah, if you want your festival gear, that's the place to go. Look at this. Fancy a nice outfit for a night out? There you go. Yep. This is Totnes. And in the same shop, I don't know if you can see this, a beautiful silk top hat, genuine from 1925, a snip at 550 quid. What do you reckon? I think my friend Leah would suit that very well indeed. And guess where he lives? Yeah, right here in funky Totnes. The castle again. We'll definitely come back there in the summer, I think, and go up there. And the thing I love about Totnes is no matter where you are, because the town is built on a hill, you can see countryside and beautiful Devon countryside all around. That's quite an entrance, isn't it, eh? Northgate Lodge, lovely. Right, we're going a different way back to the station. One thing I didn't even mention yet was the Totnes pound. You may well have seen it on TV a few years ago. You could buy a Totnes pound for £1 normal pound, and basically you bought all your stuff within Totnes with your Totnes currency, and you got your change in Totnes currency as well, and it basically just kept the money within Totnes. That was the idea. I don't think it lasted that long. It certainly seems to be gone nowadays, but what was the story behind that? Why did it disappear? If anybody knows, then let me know.
May I have your attention, please? Please note, to ensure a timely departure, train doors will not shut after.
Thank you, lovely. Cheers.
And away. And here we are back in Newton Abbot. So there you go, that was Totnes. Hope you enjoyed that. Just a little casual wander around, but it is such a lovely place to visit, so make sure you do that if you're in this part of Devon. I like its alternative vibe. It really is a funky place. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We've just got one little short hop across to Teignmouth, and there we are, done for today. Give us a like if you haven't subscribed yet, that would be fantastic, but it's entirely up to you. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again on the next one very soon. Take care, bye bye.
Calling it a tour, talking
Bye.
and